I'm going to scan my audience for my informative speech. I read in an article about a man named David Goodall. This man was 104 years old, and he was not sick or in pain. He just had no desire to live any longer. He thought that he had lived his life to the fullest. He then went to a Swiss clinic and got help with physician-assisted suicide. But also, within this article, there are Catholics who are talking about how he should not have ended his life if he was still in good health. In my opinion, I think someone should be able to choose when they want to end their life, and if he believed he lived a good life, then he has no one to prove that otherwise. There is extreme passion on both sides of the debate, but the legal right to choose has gained some traction in the United States through laws that have passed both at the federal and state levels. The first law passed at the federal level that regards a patient's right to choose to continue life or death was called the Patient Self-Determination Act, passed in 1991. When this law was put into place, it was for people to be able to decide who they wanted to have as an advance directive. They would have this put into place for situations that they could not decide on their own, so that way their advance directive could for them. These would be in different records such as DNR, do not resuscitate orders, living wills, or other medical orders. It is a lot more challenging, though, to decide or come up with what you are wanting for your life when you find yourself in dire situations or when you are not alert enough to make these decisions on your own, versus being alert and with it and fully understanding. You would not know whether to take your own life or to suffer through the pain because you are not fully conscious enough to understand. Even though people are able to now make the decision for right to refuse here in the United States, asking to make the action faster is a lot different. Patients who are not accepting help are speeding up their death process by refusing to eat or dying of thirst. This decision could take a long time to death and last weeks to months. I myself have thought about it and wondered why assistance is needed and why someone could not just kill themselves. Why do they need help? After reading, I found out that some people are too weak or not conscious enough in certain situations. Killing oneself could go terribly wrong, and it could be messy, painful, or even backfire than the initial plan. That is why the right to life and the right to die are not two rights, but two aspects or descriptions of the same right. The right to life is the right to decide whether one will or will not continue living. The right to die is the right to decide whether one will die when one could continue living. The right to die should be simplified more. It is not that someone is assisting in ending another's life, but rather someone not being prevented in helping someone in their life if they choose to do so. If the right to die were a right to positive assistance, the others would do wrong if they failed to help. This means if someone was able to take their own life and they wanted someone's help, if they did not want to help them, then that would be wrong. This is a hard topic if someone is against the right to die. They probably also have concerns about PAS, which is physician-assisted suicide, or euthanasia. But they should take into consideration the patient is not just wanting to kill them without very good reasoning. And they have taken in all considerations when choosing if they want to do or want to live. To choose if someone wants to go on living in certain circumstances is within the most important that can be chosen. Just like someone likes being able to control where to live, what job they want to take, who they want to spend their life with, and if they want to have kids, this would also mean people like to decide if they want to end their lives if their quality of life is weaker. That is why the right to life and the right to die are not two rights, but two aspects or descriptions of the same right. The thought that there is a responsibility to keep living, no matter if life has become bad, is implausible. There are always options and different resources out there when it comes to ending a life or not knowing whether to continue. That does matter state to state. However, if those options require the assistance of another person, patients must reside in a state with supportive laws. As of late 2017, 5 states and the District of Columbia have enacted death with dignity laws. So I'll scan my audience one more time.